Story and Lee, the Tennessee Valley's most dynamic furniture store, featuring our Made in America galleries with solid wood dining and bedrooms, leather furniture, mattresses, and so much more. You want it? We've got it. With our 3 acres of showroom and our huge warehouse, we're sure to have exactly what you want. And it's all ready to be delivered to your home absolutely free. Just try that anywhere else. We are Story and Lee.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather at noon.
Well, good Friday afternoon. Taylor Plott here with their latest forecast. And we're still on the cooler side of things today, but we have a lot of big changes coming. Not only severe weather chances for your Saturday, but yes, even winter weather chances as we go into next week. We got a lot to talk about. Let's dive right into it. Right now, across the area, things are looking absolutely fantastic. Crystal clear sky out there. Lawrenceburg, Florence, Pulaski, and Cherokee all looking absolutely fantastic right now. Again, it's still on the chilly side of things, but you know, it's not too bad of a day. Again, sunshine out there, a lot better than what we've seen over the past few days with a lot of rain across our area. So really good change of pace today for your Valentine's Day. Viper radar showing exactly that. Crystal clear skies out there. Temperatures still on the cooler side. 43 in Florence, 39 here in Lawrenceburg, 39 in Russellville. For the majority of the area, places should get into the lower 50s later on today, but there will be some spots that generally stay in the 40s today. As we look at the radar and satellite composite, high pressure continues to move off to the east, and we have that next system that we're watching for severe weather-wise coming up off to our west. Our winds will start to kind of move towards or come out of the south as we head later on tomorrow and possibly even later on today to some extent. High clouds will start to creep on into the area later on this afternoon and evening, but really no rain chances are in the forecast until we get into the late overnight hours tonight and then into parts of Saturday. So for your remainder of the afternoon, things looking pretty good. Just some clouds here and there. Temperatures getting up into the lower 50s and then dropping down into the mid and upper 70s for 6 p.m. So if you have any of those Valentine dinner plans, you'll need that jacket on hand, but you don't really need to take any of the rain gear or the umbrellas. Now, switching to rain, switching gears back to Saturday, we do have a flash flood watch that is in place for parts of southern Tennessee and into parts of northeastern Mississippi. Still no flash flood watch as of yet for parts of northern Alabama. It's possible they might, the Weather Service in Huntsville might not go with the flash flood watch because there's going to be less rainfall for Saturday than kind of previously expected, only getting it to about 3/4 of an inch to maybe 1.5 inches. That can still create some flooding problems, especially with the rain that we've seen over the past couple of days. But as you go further to the north and to the west, especially up here towards Dyersburg, Union City, up towards Paris, Tennessee, that northwestern part of Tennessee, that's probably going to be your primary zone for seeing the heavier rainfall and that bigger flash flooding threat. 3 to 5 inches is expected for those areas. Still 2 to 4 here in parts of southern Tennessee, Lawrenceburg, Savannah, Parsons, Columbia. So this will still create some flash flooding issues as we go into today on Saturday with that additional 2 to 4 inches worth of rain. Now let's talk about that severe weather potential. This is the latest Storm Prediction Center outlook for tomorrow. The majority of our areas still in that level 2 out of 5. That's that slight risk, but we are starting to see a little bit of a northward trend with that enhanced risk with this latest update. The Storm Prediction Center kind of moved it into parts of west southern Tennessee, include the Memphis and Summerville areas, and then into parts of northeastern Mississippi. I think the bulk of the severe weather risk across our area will be generally down here, places like Russellville, Hamilton, Double Springs, and then further down to the southwest. But that doesn't mean that we won't have severe weather here across Lawrenceburg, Pulaski, Athens, Decatur. But I do think our risk is a little bit less. But it's still something we'll have to keep an eye on when those storms start to arrive tomorrow. Tornadoes are still possible with this. There's enough shear, there's enough instability that we'll have to watch for the tornado threat. High winds, that's probably going to be our biggest issue, especially with a line of storms moving on through. 50 to 70 mile per hour winds will be possible with that. One thing to note on that real quick, because the ground is so saturated, it might only take a 50 mile an hour wind gust to knock a tree down. It might not take 60 or 70. It might be a little bit less than that. So there's a chance that this line moves through and you might only be seeing 40 to 50 mile per hour winds, and that could be causing some issues out there with trees coming down. So just keep that in mind. Hail, I don't think we're going to be seeing much in the way of hail potential with this. And of course, like I mentioned, that flash flooding threat is definitely on the table. All right, let's take a look at this, kind of go hour by hour here with the high resolution. This is the HRRB model. This is kind of, I think, the model that kind of has the best handle on things at this moment. We start off tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. You're probably going to be hearing rain. You're probably going to be hearing thunder outside in some places, but we're nice and cool. We're still in the 40s here, so no severe weather risk with this batch, but this could start to kind of aggravate that flooding potential across the area with that heavier rainfall. Still seeing some scattered activity around noon. I still don't think this is going to be severe at this moment because you see our temperatures 59 in Florence, 54 in Lawrenceburg, so that really isn't kind of ripe for severe weather chances during the day, but still seeing some of those heavier showers move through. But it's during this time that we'll have to start to watch for any cells that develop out ahead of the line. 62 in Waynesboro, 64 in Savannah, warmer off to the south and west. That's where your better instability will be at this point. But still, there could be enough instability here that these cells, they could become supercells, and those will be the ones that have to watch for the chance of a tornado or two. So again, we'll watch that first batch here. If this does verify and there are cells that develop out ahead of that line, these will have to be watched for any severe weather chance. But this is our main show. This is that main line moving through around 10 o'clock, should be getting close to the Shoals area. At the moment, I would say probably give or take an hour or two, given this line moving through. So it could be 9 o'clock, could be 11 o'clock, but generally near that 10 p.m. time frame, I think is when this line starts to move on through across the area, and this will be embedded circulations I have to watch for, those isolated quick spin-up tornadoes, and that damaging wind potential that I mentioned earlier. By the time we get to midnight, the line should be getting close to the I-65 corridor, maybe getting a little bit further to the east of it, so Huntsville down to Decatur and Coleman, that's when you guys will start to be seeing that line move on through. Still a lot of rain on the backside of things, but at this point, Lawrenceburg, Florence, Tuscumbia, places west of Interstate 65, your severe weather risk is pretty much done by the time we get to midnight and 1 a.m. in the morning. And then by the time we get to 2 o'clock in the morning, that line's starting to move on into parts of eastern Tennessee, into parts of Georgia, and we're starting to dry out across our area, and temperatures get a lot cooler on the back side of things. By the time we get to Sunday at noon, maybe some lingering sprinkles here and there, but cloud cover should be situated across the area, and that won't allow our temperatures to get too warm once we get into the day on Sunday. Here's your 7-day forecast. Things are looking really good as we go into the beginning of next week. Temperatures still on the cooler side of things, 42 on Monday, 48 on Tuesday. And then, yes, we still have that chance for some winter weather we're watching for on Wednesday. Models still trying to figure out exactly what the setup is going to be on Wednesday. Could be pretty close. Could be a situation where the Tennessee areas might see a little more chance of some snow, and the Alabama areas might see more of a chance of some rain. So it's going to be right on that fine line between somebody seeing possibly some snow or possibly just a cold rain. So stick with the Tennessee Valley Weather Center on that. We'll give you the latest information over the coming days.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.